Hi, everybody. Ralph Sheheen along with Jeff Emig and Ricky Carmichael with you here on After the Checkered Flag on Supercross Live on supercrossonline.com. The big story after the races in Dallas was Chad Reed's injury, because that was the big blow to the championship. We're going to have to wait till everybody shows up to Georgia to really understand where Chad Reed is now, but he's a very gritty rider.
Yeah, he is, and I was so impressed with the main event ride that Chad Reed was putting in at Cowboys Stadium, and it was so great to see Villopoto and Reed pick up where they left off in San Diego and just go head-to-head. They really hadn't even worked their way into the lap riders yet, and things were really starting to get intense. Of course, Reed makes a massive mistake. It goes over the bars, and it quite possibly could have ended the season for him. But for sure, losing those points at Dallas is going to be a big blow to his championship hopes.
James Stewart had his problems. He fought his way back to sixth, kind of keeps himself alive in the championship. Ryan Dungey, well, he ends up second. He actually is still very much alive in the points, but it doesn't seem like Villopoto is really looking over his shoulder at him. In fact, now, I don't know if Villopoto's looking over his shoulder at anybody.
Yeah, if I'm Ryan Villopoto, quite frankly, I'm thinking, you know, I'm not really worried about Dungey and his speed. I think the biggest thing that he thinks about Ryan Villopoto, and I shouldn't even be speaking on his behalf, and I'm not, but I feel that he just knows that Dungey's going to be strong, and he's going to get podiums. He's going to capitalize on everyone else's mistakes. I think the other guy that he needs to worry about is, as far as speed goes, is Stewart. This weekend, a lot like San Diego, Stewart was off the pace. He actually, his teammate, Davey Millsaps, falls down. He ran into him, okay, and then went to go back, and he stalled the bike. And then when I was watching him, he's cranking his bike, and it just looked like it was nonchalant.
Like it was practice.
Yeah, he was no sense of urgency, like, man, I got to hurry up and make these points. So going to be interesting to see what he'll do in Atlanta. I think that the championship hopes are a far stretch for James Stewart at this point, and if I'm Ryan Dungey, I have got to find some speed, because he is for sure further behind speed-wise than he was last year, and he's not getting the starts that he was last year. We've seen what happened at Cowboy Stadium, so we're going to have to see what he brings this weekend in Atlanta.
But don't forget, a year ago, Ryan Dungey was 40 points down at one point in the season, and when we got to Vegas, we had a 4-rider championship fight going into that final round. So you never know. Villopoto hasn't had a hiccup yet, and as we saw in San Diego in the lights race, you can have a 24-point swing, no problem. Yeah. So we're heading off to Georgia next, and that's where that red clay is going to come into play. For Ricky Carmichael, Jeff Emig, I'm Ralph Sheheen. We'll see you on speed from the Georgia Dome in Atlanta. Thanks for joining us here on After the Checkered Flag.